Hey guys, welcome back to Pop Culture with Pat. So today we are talking about Brandon Cronenberg's new sci-fi horror film, Infinity Pool. Guided by a seductive and mysterious woman, a couple on vacation venture outside the resort grounds and find themselves in a culture filled with violence, hedonism, and untold horror. A tragic accident soon leaves them facing a zero-tolerance policy for crime. Either you'll be executed, or if you're lucky enough to afford it, you can watch yourself die instead. So in this movie, you have Alexander Skarsgard, who plays the character of James. He is an author, and it's having a little bit of writer's block, so him and his wife go to this resort to try and help James get some inspiration. While they're at the resort, they end up meeting this person named Gabby, who is played by Mia Goth. Her and her husband are there on vacation as well. And those two end up taking James and his wife outside of the resort to try and have some fun. But while they're out there, an accident ends up happening. And soon after that, the couples find out this country's policy on crime, and it's pretty crazy. In this country, you can either be executed for this particular crime, or if you're lucky enough to have enough money, you can pay to have a double made of you, and then you have to watch your double be executed instead. Sounds pretty fucked up, right? Well, that's because it is. It's a Brandon Cronenberg movie, so a lot of you guys, I'm sure, kind of have an idea of what to expect going into this film. You know what he did with Possessor, you know the type of films that his father made, so you're definitely going to get a weird experience, and you get one here for sure. Now, the main reason that I was really interested in this movie in the first place, because I saw that Mia Goth was in it, and I really became a fan of her work last year after seeing both X and Pearl. I thought she was absolutely amazing in both of those films, so anything that she's putting out, especially that's in the genre of horror, sci-fi, I'm instantly going to check out now going forward. So, saw that she was in there. You also got Alexander Skarsgard, a fan of a lot of his work too, so having them both in the cast, David Cronenberg film, you're going to get some weird shit. So I was interested to check this out. And both of those actors, I think that they give good performances in the movie overall. One thing I will say is that Infinity Pool certainly does not shy away as far as when it comes to the violence in this film, the sex in this movie as well. It's really in your face with a lot of wild shit. There are some crazy scenes in here for sure. And I know a lot of you guys are probably kind of expecting that, especially if you're familiar with the director's previous work, just knowing his background, what he's done. So they definitely don't shy away from any of that kind of stuff for sure. From what I was reading or saw an interview or something, that this movie, when it was at Sundance, it actually was originally an NC-17 film. We are getting the R-rated version, so I believe some people have already had a chance to see the NC-17 cut. I'm sure we'll probably get that when it comes out on Blu-ray and streaming at some point. But this is the R-rated version, but I'm going to tell you guys, it definitely doesn't disappoint when it comes to that stuff. There is a lot of that in here, some weird, crazy shit. And yeah, I won't say too much, obviously, because it's going to keep it spoiler-free. But I'll just say it's not a movie that you want to take your family or any kind of kids to, because, yeah, no, not a good idea. My biggest issues with this movie, though, is that I feel like Infinity Pool, it's one of those type of movies that has a lot of weird shit in it just to kind of be weird. I get what they were going for with some of the different messages in the film, but I don't know, it was just really bizarre to me. And I know, again, I'm familiar with the director's background and what he has done before, so I kind of expected that going into it. And I do like some really weird films myself, but I don't know, for some reason this just didn't really hit for me, and maybe it might hit for you. I'm sure some of you guys will probably like this film, but I don't know, that was one of the aspects that just didn't really work for me. The other thing is that once you figure out or see what's kind of going on in the film, I felt it started to get a little bit repetitive, felt like you were kind of treading water there for a little bit, especially when you get to the third act. I felt like the movie ran out of steam at that point, and I just really wasn't invested in it anymore. So it's just one of those movies for me personally. I see this being a one-time watch, and that's it. I don't have any interest in probably checking this out again. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people out there that really, appreciate the movie and some of the weird shit that it has to offer and some of the different, messages and stuff like that the film has. It's just not something that really, stuck with me. I wasn't, even though you had good performances from Mia Goth and Skarsgard, which, if anything, I mean, check the movie out for their performances. None of the characters, for me personally, I really latched onto. So great performances, but just wasn't anything that I could really relate to. So that was kind of a letdown for me as well. So overall, despite an initially interesting concept and some good performances from the actors in this film, I was definitely left wanting a little bit more from Infinity Pool. So as far as the score goes, I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I'm definitely curious to hear what your guys' thoughts are, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of differing opinions on this film for sure. I believe there was with Possessor, if I remember correctly. So I'm really curious to see what you guys think. So if you guys have seen the film, let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. And if you guys haven't, is this something that you are planning to check out? So either way, let me know. I definitely want to hear your thoughts. And again, if you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button as well as the bell button next to it. That way you get notifications for all my new videos. Give this video a thumbs up. And as always, guys, please make sure to check back for more Pop Culture with Pat.